It took less than 24 hours for a movement to be established. The hashtag #WeWantToPlay. Thank you for watching this video. You are a good sport. This is College Football Media. On this channel we talk college football teams, trends, traditions, all the way to logos, history, and predictions. If that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing for in-depth college football content. Rumors are that the Big Ten is very close to announcing that they will cancel the college football season for this fall, possibly postponing it to a later date in the spring. As soon as those rumors started, people thought that dominoes would begin to fall, and that when one conference goes, the rest go as well. The Big Ten rumors came following the MAC announcing that they are shutting down their conference during the fall sports season. But as all of this was unfolding on Twitter, players began to speak out. They began to use their voice and their platform like they have previously in this year, but now using it to say that we want to play. Players with as high of a profile as Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. And these players are two examples that do not need the college football season comparatively to the rest. Those players are in the best position that they can be in order to be drafted in the NFL, especially if the season is not played. But yet, they are the ones at the forefront speaking up and speaking out for people to hear them and listen to them in order to have a college football season be played. Coaches are also speaking out and backing up their players and what is best for them. Coaches such as Ryan Day, Scott Frost, Sam Pittman, and even Nick Saban. The reality of the situation is that a lot of players are already on campus and practicing with the team. Of course, other students are beginning to arrive on campus at these colleges in general. But the players have been there for weeks by now, and they have been tested over and over and over, regulating with strict restrictions the protocol to keep the players and everybody, including the staff, safe. They've already been doing this process, and with the resources and money that the Power 5 conferences have, they are capable to keep up with this. The Group of 5 in Division II is on a completely different level. Some of those schools and some of those conferences, maybe not all, but it is more likely that some of them do not have the resources and capabilities to be able to keep everything constricted and regulated. The Power 5, on the other hand, definitely has those resources, medical personnel, doctors, scientists that actually know what they're talking about, how to regulate, how to test, and what to do if and when symptoms begin to arise. The Power 5 simply has the resources. It is completely inconsistent, that's right, inconsistent, for conferences, commissioners, and or presidents to be bringing students onto campus for classes, in classroom learning, and yet say it is not safe for student athletes to practice and play on the field. So it's safe enough for students to be on campus, in dorms, getting food at the cafeteria, traveling out in the area. They've already been tested before they were allowed on campus, and they're in classroom for learning, working on their education. That's safe, but it's not safe for these student athletes to have even higher regulations and higher protocols and yet not be able to play. In no way am I claiming that I am an expert in the medical field at all. I do not have any inside sources with any organizations or any schools. But the people in charge need to be able to have an intellectual conversation and process for how they evaluate the situation. They've had, how long? 5 months at least, at minimum, to have a plan in place? And yet we are announcing schedules. Conferences have been announcing schedules, and then 48 hours later everything has changed and now it's not safe to have a season. In a lot of cases, as pointed out by players and coaches, it is safer for many, many student athletes to be on school, on campus, rather than be at home. Many of these student athletes are playing football in order to help their family get out of poverty. So if they are sent home back to, in most cases, impoverished homes, they are in a worse scenario. Nobody can regulate or control what the students do when they're on their own. However, when they are in a situation at a location with a lot of money, a lot of people looking after them, very, very strict regulations and guidelines, you know that you are keeping the players safe. If you're at home by yourself and you can go out into other communities, in a lot of cases that just don't have money and don't have resources, and maybe people that aren't looking out for them as much as you would at a university, they're more likely to get the virus. They are in much less of a safe situation rather than being on campus. And that's why being on campus and playing football with these strict regulations is, in most cases, safer. I'll be honest, up to this point through this entire pandemic, this is the first moment that it's really hit me and felt real enough that the season could be canceled. In the past, it seemed like it was far out, like it was unlikely, but at this moment when these rumors came out, it felt like it could actually happen. It's the most real that it seemed to me at this point. Not the virus, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about the realness of the virus itself and safety concerns. I'm talking about the realness of how likely it is that the season would be canceled because of it. This is about the student athletes. This is about the coaches. And the student athletes are trying to form a players' association, a players' union. We talked about that last week. And it seems more and more likely every day that that is what students are working toward. Will people listen to them? I don't know. Are the people qualified who are above them? Again, I don't know. But all of this is being put into question. Players want to play. They are voicing it out loud. And it is our job as fans. The only thing that we can do as fans is get their opinion out there. Share the opinion of the players. Share the opinions of the coaches. Hashtag we want to play. It is trending. It is viral for a reason. The only thing we can do is help raise this awareness. And it's up to those people in charge in the organizations, whether it be the school, the NCAA, the conference commissioners, of who really holds the power. Will the Players Association form? I don't know. How long would it take? I don't know. I don't have answers. But it seems in a lot of ways, perhaps the people in charge don't have answers either. And I'm not trying to call anybody out, but there are a lot of possibilities of what could play out. It's my job as a fan, your job as a fan, to help spread these players' opinions because they matter and their intellectual logic makes sense. It checks out. And if, say, by the time this video is posted that the Big Ten has announced that they are canceling or postponing, if by the time this video is published that the Pac-12 has done the same thing, then we are fighting as fans. This video, the purpose of this is to fight for the rest of the conferences. For example, the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 12. That's what we're fighting for. If by the time this video is posted, nobody has announced, the Power 5 has not announced, including the Big Ten, nothing has been announced, and they're still evaluating the situation, then of course we are fighting for those conferences too, the Big Ten and the Pac-12. We're fighting for the players, no matter what classification they're in. But if it can be regulated, which I believe that it can, and I think most medical personnel would agree with that in large part. Of course, things still need to be worked on, things still need to be figured out, but the point from my perspective as a fan, and your perspective hopefully as a fan, is to help raise awareness and to fight for these players in order to be able to play, in order to help them as a person and their health situation. That's why I'm making the video, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't want to be confused, I don't want to be taken out of context. And again, I'm not an expert on any of this at all, but I'm just trying to help the players' voices expand. So what can you do? Use the hashtag we want to play. It's the best thing that I know to do in terms of helping raise this awareness and getting the players' opinions, coaches' opinions out there. The platforms that we have on social media is very, very powerful. Retweet, share, like, all of those things help a lot for all of the players. And the media is not always the best source. I don't know what will happen. I am praying for a college football season and that it will be safe and be able to be played out as normal as possible without any kind of negative health ramifications. So maybe to help and aid in this situation, you can check out my other social medias on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and a lot of other social medias as well, such as, of course, players, coaches, commissioners, the media, people of that nature. And of course, without a doubt, like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more in-depth college football content, because YouTube is a resource as well. So thank you for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. You can check out some other videos right over there. So until next time, hopefully we have some good news next week. This has been College Football Media. Be Cody now.